Oh snap. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Opinion, the home of a twat with too much free time. And there's a snap general election. Get in. So if anybody across the pond or in any other countries hasn't paid attention, Prime Minister Theresa May just called an election and the hypest hype has occurred. But first let's look at why she would have done this. Because I have no life, I've spent the last few months following the polling for the British government, eagerly looking at the trend. Now when a Prime Minister is elected, there is a time known as the honeymoon period, which is when an individual is expected to be particularly popular with the public, just for the case of being a fresh impression. Theresa May has rode out the supposed honeymoon period and seen through fiscal policy changes and other world events, and her popularity is still buzzing. And now she feels that due to the fact that the honeymoon period is statistically over and she's still destroying her opponents in the polls, that it is a good time to host a general election. It's common sense, in a way. It allows her to debunk the criticism of her being an unelected Prime Minister, and it also allows her to put her Brexit policy to the test. And I think this is sensible too. A lot has changed since the 2015 election, and policies in the manifesto that were presented then did not address how the UK will approach Brexit with good detail. In hindsight now, it's clear how arrogant David Cameron was in thinking that Britain wouldn't vote leave, because if he actually entertained it in his mind as a genuine possibility, it probably would have been given more attention in his lovely little blue booklet. So I'm generally in favour of a general election. And although some people are rolling their eyes at this point and thinking, fuck me, another one, I revel at them, I bathe in them, I eat them for breakfast. The other good thing is seeing the back of twats like George Osborne, who'll now go on to be a cunt in the mainstream media. How I love self-fulfilling prophecies. Speaking of the mainstream media, I see that Theresa is going to crush the saboteurs with blue murder. How I love unbiased reporting, bringing this country together every time. Now I'm sure people will wonder who I'm voting for. Well, I'm currently undecided. Either I side with a party that I generally agree with but disagree with on Brexit, or I side with a party who I agree with on Brexit and disagree with on other matters. And also I have to take into account that I absolutely loathe my Member of Parliament. I genuinely thought to myself I could never vote for her. But to sum up, I'm not considering any other parties right now. Unfortunately, they're either not a presence where I live, or I just don't think they're suited to be in number 10. The plan is that I'm going to wait for other manifestos to appear, analyse them on the sum of their parts, hopefully watch some of the TV debates and make a fair, balanced judgment. On the topic of TV debates, Theresa May has refused to appear in them, which is fantastic as always. Not gonna lie, a bit miffed about that one. TV debates are the honourable thing to do, and it often does help people assess the credibility of a politician as the Prime Minister. And even if it is tactical, I always find it a bit cowardly. If they can't stand on a podium for 60 minutes and argue their cause, how can they convince me that they're fit to run the country for 5 years? All in all, whatever happens over the next few months, it will hopefully not be too much of an open and shut case, because although Theresa is trouncing home right now, anything can happen in politics, and there could be some little plots brooding under the surface. She now has to prove herself as a campaigner, and someone who can convince me and the public that her vision of Britain is the best and most deliverable one. I'm The Right Opinion, and will June be the end of May? Probably not, but we'll see.